Hi guys, how are you doing? I'm Sergey from Russia, and I remind you that I improve my English with this YouTube channel. First of all, I want to apologize because I haven't made videos on this channel for a long time, and I have a reason, because I had a lot of work to do in my garden. You know, it's summer and it's the best season to make your backyard, your garden look better. I took some photos, some pictures, and I want to show them to you. Maybe it will be interesting for some of you. Okay, enough chit chat, let's begin. Today I want to tell you more about plugin called Color Finale, the second version. I want to say that I was skeptical about this plugin because this plugin was good when we had Final Cut version 10.2 and 10.3, because in this version of Final Cut was very was so little tools to color correction. We had only exposure, we had only saturation, and we could work with colors. And Color Finale was great that time because this plugin added a lot of benefits to color correction. But when Apple released Final Cut 10.4, and we get a lot of tools, a lot of great tools to color correction, such as hue saturation curves, color curves, tools to change color balance, picker to change color correction, to change white balance. And then I think in that time Color Finale lost its benefits. But then, some months ago, developers of Color Finale released the new version of this plugin, version 2, but now we have version 2.1, and they sent to me this plugin and asked to make review on this plugin, but I didn't want to do that because I was skeptical about benefits. Is there any benefits or not? Let's look together. And I want to say that I watched a lot of videos on YouTube about this plugin, videos in English, videos in Russian, but all authors of that videos, they didn't compare tools of Color Finale with tools of Final Cut. Because customer want to know, should he buy this plugin or not? Maybe maybe that person liked only tools of the Final Cut, only Final Cut, and maybe maybe it's not necessary to buy Color Finale. And I will try to compare benefits of Color Finale with tools of native Final Cut. Let's begin. When you install Color Finale, you get a new category in your titles called Color Finale Grades, and here you have two adjustment layers: base grade and look grade. It's simple adjustment layer, you know, and base grade and look grade are if you open this title, this adjustment layer in Motion 5, you will see only one layer, and base grade it's only adjustment layer, and look grade it's only adjustment layer, and there isn't any difference between this adjustment layer. But for your convenience, first of all, you can apply base grade to make technical grade to your shots. For example, you can change exposure, contrast, you can change color balance, and maybe apply any Luts. And then with look grade you can make a interesting look of your shot. For example, to change mood of your video, make it colder, make it warmer. It's not technical, it's art correction, you know. And besides titles, besides adjustment layer, you get new category in effect panel called Color Finale, and here you have Color Finale and Color Finale Pro. We will know about difference of these plugins. If you want to know difference now, you can open official site of Color Finale, go down and click see our chart for a comparison of in features. But if we click here, we will see what is the difference. But just now we don't know the function. What does it mean group grading? What does it mean LUT export? We don't know it now, and I will try to explain to you this function, and you will decide: should you buy Color Finale 2 or should you Color Finale 2 Pro? Okay, but this thing we will do maybe not in this video, because I think it will be 3 parts of videos about this plugin, because this plugin is great, is huge, with a lot of functions, and I can't explain it only in one video, and so we will have maybe 3 videos. Okay, here we have Color Finale Pro and Color Finale, and I want to say, and I must say that this plugin is this plugin crashes sometimes. In my case, it crashes with Final Cut. For example, I think one time in 15 minutes. It crashes one time in 15 minutes. Maybe we will see these crashes, and we have warning. In this warning, they write Final Cut crashes with Color Finale. With working with Color Finale. It's not good, because we have not version only 2, not 2.1. The version of this plugin is, I will show it to you, it's 2.144, and it crashes. I think developers could something do to make they could do to make something they could do something to make this plugin do not crash, but they didn't do anything. So, and this built April 29, 2020. As I said, we can apply this plugin with color with adjustment layer, and we can apply it just on the clip. Let's see what we have. We will not explain things of settings of Color Finale, because we will talk about it when we will talking about Luts, when we will talking about art Luts, because we have here technical Luts and art Luts. And I will explain you the difference between these types of LUTs. So when we open the first block, it's called color management. First of all, we see the first color profile, assume video. Assume video, it's the simple profile, nothing changes with our video, but we with this type, when we have this type, we can apply LUTs, art LUTs with edit layer. When we open this block, we will see a block of LUTs. We can import LUTs there, and we can apply there. We can mix them to apply more or less, and we can apply not only one LUT, but several LUTs applied to one video. So it's simple. Nothing changes if we pick assume video, and this point is picked as default. Then we see here assume log, and if we don't know what type of camera was shooted our video, and if we don't have any special LUT for our video, I will one second. For example, I have this shot. It was shooted in a logarithmic color space. You know, all colors are not with saturation. We have only gray colors and colors with not saturation. And I don't know what camera this shot was made, and I don't have special LUT for this shot. And so I apply Color Finale Pro to this shot and choose assume log. And here we have the great picture, great colors, and we of course it's the basic point. We can change these colors with Color Finale, with Final Cut, but this is the basic point we have. And for example, I have another video, and I don't want what camera was used here, and I don't have special LUT, so I used Color Finale Pro, assume video, assume log, and I have I have great colors here. It's great. It's great. It's a great tool. We don't have this tool in Final Cut. You can use this thing when you don't know what type of LUT you have, what type of what type of logarithmic video you have. The third thing here, use aces. If you have special color space, for example, in some cameras you have special color space. You can pick it here. For Canon, a lot of color spaces. For Panasonic, you have here color space. And if you don't know what type of camera, but you know that you have S-Log3 or S-Log10i, if you know this information about your video, you can pick your type of color space here, and here out space you can pick the output color space. For example, Rec 7, it's standard color space Rec 709, and if you want you can pick, for example, Rec 2020 HDR. Of course, if you have your monitor that could display this color space, but if your monitor can't display color space, white color space, for example, Rec 2020, I think it's no any sense to work with white color space. But what about Final Cut? Can we use input space and out space? No, we can't. We can't use this thing in Final Cut, but we can only change color space when we create new library. And when you create new library, file, new library, you can choose here what color space you can, for example, on the desktop. You can change here what color space you will use. In the settings of here, modify. You can use a standard color space Rec 709, or you can use wide gamut HDR. It's Rec 2020 if you want, and if you have this material, you can use this white color space. But standard is Rec 709. Okay, and all events and all projects in this library will be this type of color space. I think you understand what I say, because it's difficult for me to explain this information to you in English, because it's difficult in Russian, and it's more difficult to explain in English, but I try my best. So then we have the last thing here, use input LUT. It's better to use here only technical LUTs. What does it mean, technical LUTs? If you have, for example, DJI quadcopter, DJI Mavic 2, you can go to the official site of this quadcopter, and this quadrocopter can shoot in logarithmic color space. And to make your video standard, you should go to the official site of DJI and download there the official LUT only for this camera, for camera of DJI quadcopter. And you should import it here and use. And your colors will be changed as developers of this camera think, you know. And for example, if you have Canon camera, you should go to the Canon official site and download here special light for that camera. And for example, for Sony, for every camera, except some cameras, there are special official LUTs, and you should use those here. I will show it to you. You can pick this thing, then you go to the input LUT and press here import LUT. I have downloaded, I have imported here already two LUTs, but these LUTs are not official or for special camera. It's only for example, and you apply this LUT to your video and it changes. When you import here LUTs, you can import only one per time. But if you want to work with a lot of LUTs, and if you want to try one LUT, then if you want to try the second, if you want to try the third, if you have a lot of LUTs and you want to work with them, you can go to the edit layers, and there will be a special block of LUTs, and you will work with them. And I will show you how you can download here the folder of LUTs. If you want, you can, of course, mix the LUT. It will be apply more or less. And what about Final Cut? Do we have such thing as input LUT? Of course, we have. For example, it's two ways to apply LUTs in Final Cut. First of all, of course, you can pick your video. I will, for example, use maybe this video. I will make it shorter. I press Option right bracket, for example here, and I will press Shift F to show it. To show this video in browser. When we go to the inspector and press to info button, we can go to the type of inspector, and we can choose here not basic but general. When we use general here, we have camera LUT block, and we can pick here built-in LUTs for different types of camera. But these LUTs, I think it's technical LUTs, it's not art LUTs. And we can import here custom camera LUT. You can download it from internet. You write in Google free LUTs download. Yeah, and you have a lots of different types of LUTs. and you can download it here. Then you pick, for example, Mary, and the colors of your picture change. And for example, I don't want this lot, I want this lot, and the colors change. But with this thing, LUT applies to all your source video. If you go here, you can see that we have only this part on the timeline, and just now we applied this LUT to this part, but LUT applied to all our source video. And if I pick some part video from here and put it here, it will be with LUT. It is with LUT already, with LUT applied already. For example, I don't want this thing. I want to apply LUT only to this part of my video. How we can do this? We can do this, for example, with adjustment layer. I go to the titles, and I have here adjustment layer here. I put it upper, and I will find in effect panel effect called you can go to the color category, and you have here a custom LUT. You apply it to your adjustment layer, and you have in inspector settings of this effect, and here you can choose, for example, LUT. You can import here any LUTs, and you can apply only for part of your video. You see, here we haven't any LUT. We don't have LUT, and here we have. And of course we can change mix to apply this LUT more or less. And I think it's all about this block. I want to say that we have this thing, use input LUT in Final Cut, in the color category custom LUT, and I think there is no any difference between this function and this custom LUT. So I think let's say something. Let's go to the exposure, and I will explain your exposure, because we have we should talking about exposure, because it works not not standard. It's not exposure. We see the name of this thing as exposure, but it's not exposure, and I will show it to you. In the official video of Color Finale on the official site, official YouTube channel Color Finale, they say that this exposure works as camera works. You know, if you close your aperture in your camera, the less light go to your sensor in your camera, and your picture will be darker. And when you open your aperture, the more sunlight, more light will be applied to your sensor, and the picture will be lighter. And I want to show you how the exposure works in camera really. I press Command 6 button to show your waveform, and I press Control Command 1 button to close browser panel. And let's see, let's watch here. When we, for example, when we make our exposure down, not down but upper, you can see that the lights, these, it's lights. They go up, and this thing, it's these stripes. You know, this line, it's this stripe. This thing, it's these stripes. These things are these black points here. This thing is these stripes, and when I up my exposure, the lights, the middle and the dark colors, they go up. You can see tun tun tun, and lights and middle tones and light tones, they go up. And when we close, for example, our aperture or make short shutter time, the exposure will be darker. Our picture will be darker, and you will see that the lights will be darker, the middles and the shadows will be darker. Let's watch how work exposure in Final Cut. I will copy this thing, this picture. I will copy it here with Option pressed. Then I pressed Command 6 button to open color board, and I go here, and this is, you know, the master exposure thing. And if we put it up, the lights, the dark parts of your picture and the middle parts of your picture, they go up. And here they go up without any difference. They go together, up and down. They go together, but the lights, the middles and the shadows, they go up and they go down. And if we apply, I will copy this thing, and I will apply to this thing color finale. I will apply it here, and you will see what will be if we change here exposure. I go up with this exposure, and you can see that only lights go up, and dark parts and middle parts, they don't go up. They stay where they are. For example, for a little they go there, they go up because the lights take middle parts and lights take middle parts and get them upper, and the dark parts, they, because the lights get them and they pull them upper. And when we go when we go down, you can see only lights go down, not middles and not dark. And you can say and you can see that this exposure changes only lights in your video. It doesn't change middle, and it doesn't change dark parts of your video. And I will make this thing. I put exposure to the 3.0. Then I go to the edit layers. I go to the color wheels, and I will change this exposure only with lights, only with this thing. You can see I put it down. It's only lights. I put it down, and you can see we have the source of our picture. You can see I will pick off this thing. There are not any changes. So we I don't know, is there the word compensировать exposure with light colors, or if you want, we can change exposure here to the -3, and I go to the edit layers and put this thing. It's only lights. I put it here, and we have our source. You can see it's our source. So this is not exposure. I don't know why, but this exposure is not exposure. It's only changes it only changes lights of your video. And if you want, for example, not change it not with only if you don't want change with edit layers, I will show you. For example, I make exposure to 3. Yes, and then I go to the color board, standard color board, common 6. Then I go to the light colors, and I go here, and I have the source. I have the source. Magic. So I think I prove it to you that this exposure is not exposure. So let's go, and here we have the picker. You know, when you shoot on your mobile phone, you can pick to the screen to pick exposure from this point, to make this point with right exposure, and you can make it with this picker. For example, I want to have the right exposure here. I pick this thing, I press here, and the exposure changes with this point. This point will be with right exposure. If I want to change exposure with this point, I click here, and this point will be with right exposure, and all other picture colors of all picture will be changed will be changed by this point. For example, here. But as I said earlier, it is not exposure. It's only changing light colors. So I think that's all for this tutorial. I will continue in the next. I think it will be two tutorials or more. Please support me by your likes. Please please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, please write the comments. I read all the comments and I try to answer your questions. So see you in the next video.